and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you what it was like for me to live in a share house in Japan, and why I decided to leave after 1 month. Okay, so on the side, I hope I get this to work, but I want to show you the route that I had to take after I got off the train to go up to my share house. There's two different routes. One is extremely painful and one is a little less painful, and I'm going to talk more about that later, but you'll understand later why these videos are playing on the side if I get them working. If you see nothing, then forget it. So before coming to Japan, I decided that I was going to live in a share house. Now, it wasn't my ideal preference. I really do like my own space. I love having my own space. I cannot emphasize that enough. But I actually didn't save enough money to come to Japan because I thought that I was going to be in the countryside. But I was so lucky that I got Tokyo, and I'm so grateful for that. But like I said, I didn't have quite enough money to purchase an apartment right away. So I said, okay, well, I'll just stay in the share house for like 3 to 6 months because I can just save a lot of money. No, that changed immediately. So one of the first reasons is, like I said, hopefully the video is showing on the sides, is the walk after getting off the train. It's a 15-minute walk up the hill. However, on my first day arriving at the share house, I got lost, and it took me almost an hour to find it because I got lost. With Google Maps, they sent me one way, and well, I guess I didn't get lost, but Google Maps sent me one way, and when I got there, it said I've arrived, and I was like in the middle of nowhere, and I already went up this steep place. So now they told me to go back down because I chose another route on Google Maps. So now it told me to go back down the hill and to go up this other direction. I already wasted, I think, about 30 minutes by this time, and I was sweating, like literally sweating, because I'm also carrying my suitcase, which is 50 pounds. That's about 23 kilograms, I think. So now I'm climbing, and it feels like it's never ending. Mind you, the only reason why I feel this way is because I'm super exhausted. I just arrived in Japan 3 days ago. I had a whole bunch of orientation meetings. I had to meet with my boss and do paperwork. The time zone difference, I'm just tired. So this did not help. And also carrying 50 pounds, rolling 50 pounds did not help as well. So that's where a lot of the hate for this hill came from or comes from. It's because I was just exhausted and I had to climb it multiple times when I didn't have to. So I finally get up there, and then I have more paperwork to do. So whatever, I do the paperwork. I'm in my room. I'm excited, and I was like, okay, I didn't get any food. So now I have to go back down the hill, and it's getting dark, but I'm like, whatever, I want to eat, I'm starving. And I get down, and I'm just like, I'm just going to walk right. I don't know why. I should have just looked up food options, and I would have seen that, oh, if I just go up these stairs, on the other side, there's a whole bunch of food. But maybe it was just me looking at stairs and like, I'm definitely not doing that. And I just decided to walk right. And so after 7 minutes, I ran into a 7-Eleven, and then there was like a little tiny, I don't know, noodle shop or something. So I get some food, I come back, and I'm like, okay, I like this place, but I'm not sure about that hill. But I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. However, the next day, I have to get my residence card done. And I'm in the morning preparing, I'm making a list of things that I have to do. I have my folder ready, all that stuff. And I don't know what happened or how, but I never put my files in my book bag. I was making the list, and then I never put it in my book bag. So I get to the city, the ward's office, and I have nothing. So I have to go back, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. So I go back, I get the folder, and because I was rushing and not thinking, I didn't say, oh, I should grab my passport. Because I took my passport out of the folder because I didn't want to just carry it around. So I go, and then I have to go back up the hill again. I am at this point on the verge of tears. I'm on the verge of tears. And I'm just deciding, okay, either I can just not go back, I can just go to my workplace, pick up my other suitcase and come back here and save this for another day, or I can just go get it all done and then I can rest tomorrow. I decided to get it done because I just wanted to rest the next day. So I go, I get my passport, I got everything done, boom, perfect. I go to my work, I pick up my suitcase, I travel through Shinjuku, which is hell. And I come back. Now, I'm approaching the place where I have to make the initial ascent up the hill, right? And I just stopped to mentally prepare. And then this lady, and I can't remember if she asked me in English or Japanese, but all I know is that she asked, where was I going? She knew I was lost. Well, she assumed I was lost. I wasn't lost. I just needed to mentally prepare to go up the hill. So she asked me, and what I initially wanted to say to her back in Japanese was, I know where I'm going. I just need a moment to prepare. But I couldn't say that in Japanese. My Japanese wasn't good at that time. That good at that time. And I just said, Grand Yomi Lando. And then another lady, who I guess just heard me, was like, oh, I know where you're going. I live there. I can show you. You don't have to go up this way. There's an easier way. And I'm just like, there's no way. I'm crying, but I'm also like excited because I'm like, hey. And then she said, oh, just come this way. And I said, oh, you don't have to go with me. She went with me the entire way. I was so grateful. Oh, I will never forget that woman. So we go up, and it is easier, right? With the suitcase, it was a little bit more difficult, but after that, going that way was easier. The only problem with going that way is that you have to be home by a certain time, because when it got dark outside, that was not the way you wanted to go. I tried it once, and that was it. My heart was beating. It was like being in the woods. And they had these lighting posts up, but it was just like, here's the lighting post, right? And then you're walking, and it's getting darker and darker and darker and darker. And you're just like, oh my God, is there going to be any lighting? Boop, another lighting post pops up. So it was quite scary, but nonetheless, I made it through. So that was actually one of the reasons why I was just like, I don't think I can stay at this share house. But it had nothing to do with the share house itself. It was just the location of the share house. Now, I think the second reason was the commute to work. Not just the commute time, but the actual train. I had to take the ODQ line to work. And the express train was super packed. Oh my gosh, super packed. I was done. So that was reason number two. I think that was the main reason. I hated taking that train line. And there was a local train, but I would have to get up about 45 minutes earlier just to get to work in time. And I didn't want to do that. So I think I was just at that point, I'm ready. So I looked for other housing options, and I found that there are these foreigner-friendly options where you don't have to pay such a high initial cost. to move in. So I found this beautiful place. I used the company I used was Leo Palace. It looks like Leo Palace in English. Leo Palace 21, kind of like a Century 21 thing. So I used them, and now I have my own place, and I love it. It's more expensive, of course, because I am way closer to work, just 30 minutes away. There's no hill. I have TV, internet, all that stuff. But if you are looking to come to Japan and you're looking into the share house option, then I do recommend using Oak House. They're great. The place that I stayed was called Grand Yomiuri Land, Mae, and they were amazing. They have a whole bunch of other share houses, and other ones that I considered were I think Tokyo Share House, DK Share House, and Sakura Share House. I'll probably post a link down below if you're interested in looking at these options. I'll also post a link to the Leo Palace 21, so you can post a link so you can go to those sites and check it out if that's something that you're interested in. But other than that, I just really have to say I love the people at Yomiuri Lando. The facility was great. I enjoyed my time. It was just those three things that I just couldn't deal with. And finally, the last thing was, like I said in the beginning, I just love having my own place. Since moving to this apartment, my experience, I was already happy to be living in Japan, and now I'm just like, yeah. So I'm just super excited. So thank you for watching. Please, if you have any comments, concerns, or questions, please post them below. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Catch you next time. Okay, so I was super excited and I ended the video. But if you are still watching, I just wanted to quickly list the pros and cons of living in a share house versus having your own apartment. So in the share house, some of the cons are that you're living with other people, so you have to, adjust to their personalities and all that stuff. But if you are a people's person, then that's great for you. But even if you're not a people's person, some people kept to themselves, and that's also fine. You don't have to interact with people if you don't want to. Another con is that at a share house, everything usually comes preset, so you can't really pick out things to your liking or to your taste. One thing that I really didn't like about Grand Yomiuri Land is that they have these big wardrobes, but I don't have that much clothes, so I just found it to be excessive. But I can understand, like, they want to give you storage space, and I'm just like, well, I wish that this wasn't here. So it was like going back and forth, which it wasn't a bad thing, because some people do need that much storage space, but I just didn't, and I wanted something else. So I think those are the only two real cons, that you're sharing the space. But like I said, Grand Yomiuri Land Mae, they had the option of where you can share the full space with other people besides your room. Of course, your room was private, or you can have a kind of semi-private. So I had the semi-private option with the bathroom private and my own private toilet. So it was great. I didn't have to worry about other people's cleanliness and all that stuff, which was a big concern for me, which is one of the major reasons why I hate share houses. But I love this one because I didn't have to worry about those things. So the only time I had to worry is when I was cooking, because I would have to use the kitchen. But people were really clean, and that's also the place where I got to interact with people, so I enjoyed it so much. Now I have what I want, right? I'm living in my own apartment. I don't have to worry about other people. I get to pick all my furniture to my liking. So those are some of the pros about living in an apartment. But the cost, of course, is higher. The light and water is not included in the price. I have to worry about disposing of the garbage kind of on my own. I mean, I still put it in just like the bin area, so that's not really that bad to me. And what else? I think that's basically it. So yeah, those are the pros and cons. Okay, now please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time again. Again. Take care.